Hi, this is Goldie with Low Vision Chef. Today we're going to be making a peppercorn crusted steak seared with the peppercorn horseradish cream sauce. We created this recipe for the Cooking Without Looking show. Hi Renee and all. Anyway, so here we go. I've got my pan preheating, and in that pan we want to put a little bit of butter. It's preheated. And a little bit of olive oil. Our peppercorns on the plate here. I've got 1 tablespoon of peppercorn, and I'm just going to crust one side of it, which I'm going to sear. And my timekeeper there is going to let this go for about 3 minutes, because about 2.5 to 3 minutes for about a 1-inch thick steak seems to be about right to get it about medium, which is about how we like our steaks. Okay, and then after you do that, you don't touch them. You just let them go. Playing with them is a bad thing. And I forgot to turn my grill on, but I can do that right now. Okay, so tick, tick, boom, and I heard my burner come on. So then I want to turn it to where I have my marking set for about a medium. I'll let that warm up while I cut my dough. We don't want a lot of dough, just enough to put a nice undercarriage under this steak. There we go. Okay, after we take the pastry cutter and we cut it, then we want a little bit of olive oil on it to make it work with it here. Make it push out nicely for us. Okay, so I'll rub that with some olive oil. Okay, then I'm going to try to make these, push them out with my hands, just to make them about the size of the steak. So the steak sits right on top, and that kind of works like a Yorkshire pudding underneath the steak to kind of gather up that sauce, and it'll be our bread with our steak today as well. Okay? So now you can put whatever seasonings on this you want. A little salt, a little pepper, a little Parmesan cheese, whatever your heart desires. And we're going to cut away for just a second, and we'll be right back with you. Hi, I'm back, and we're at 3 minutes now, so it's time to turn the steaks. Now, if you can see it all, you'll see how nicely crusted that steak is. And now we want to go for 3 minutes till the other side is identically crusted. Okay, and again, we don't want to mess with them. We can leave our utensils because there's silicone right here, or we can set them off to the side. I'm going to put them over here. Actually, don't need that whisk yet. I can set it aside. I just wanted to keep it where I could find it. Little problem with people who can't see. Sometimes you can't find things.
I'm adding a little bit of garlic and a little bit of Parmesan cheese. You can have this one.
Okay. Then our flat top grill is nicely heated. And we're just going to lay that on there. It only takes about a minute on each side to make a nice piece of flatbread. And when you feel that the bread, when you pull it up, it's kind of starting to stiff, and you can smell a nice bready smell or a pizza crusty smell, you know that it's done on that side. Flip it over, the same thing again. You'll start to smell that. It'll start to get stiff. That's when you know it's done. And Brian's keeping time for us on those steaks. We'll cut away for a minute again, and we'll be right back. Hi, we're back again, and it's time to flip the pizza crust. So, I've got here my flipper tongs, which I've been using on the steak the whole time. So we're going to take and we're going to hold here. And if you can kind of see it, it's kind of stiff, and I can smell the golden brown. You can go by your smell, or you can feel the kind of stiffness to them. Okay, you don't want them brown. Just want them lightly brown. Now, we'll go over here to the steak, and I always give mine up on the end a little bit. Give them a little sear on the edges. Again, a little sear on the edge. And then right on the plate. Sear on the edge. Now, we want to let these steaks rest for several minutes so that the juices return back into the steak. So if we weren't making a peppercorn steak, regardless, we still want to let them sit for a little bit. Now, if you want to check your thermometer, take a thermometer and check the temperature of the steak, that's great. Or use the hand method, which you could pull up pretty much on any internet site. Just looking under a hand method for checking meat. 2 tablespoons of white wine. You can use white or red, your choice. Okay, and you're just going to deglaze the pan. A little here, a little there, a little there. Okay, and just deglaze that. I use my bright red whip. That's what I had that guy sitting there for. Okay, and then next I've got my beef base over here. You don't have to use beef base, but I do. And I've got my no drip pan here. So I can just put it right at the edge and pour it right in. Now, in with this, I'm going to put my horseradish. Tablespoon horseradish. I'll have the recipe posted online, so if you want to look under recipes, it'll be there for you. Okay, then I'm going to let this reduce to about half, and that'll take about 5 minutes on a medium heat. And I'm going to check my heat. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is take off my little breads here. I'll lay them right next to it. As I can hear them giving a little sizzle, and I can smell that the garlic is there. You can actually, with this, just reach here. I feel it's a little mushy. You can actually pick things up with this. Put my hand right on the grill. Now, not recommended, but I'm saying you can. It's very nice for people who can't see. That way you can actually hear the crustiness. Okay, nice crust. That's what you want. Okay, that one needs a little bit more. I can feel it's mushy. A little bit further on that crust. Okay, we're going to cut away for a second for about 3 minutes. We'll be right back. Okay, it's been about 3 minutes more. Now we're going to add the cream to the sauce reduction here we have on the stove, which will be about the last step to this sauce. Now we're going to let it simmer down for about probably 4 or 5 more minutes. But what we want to do with this is reduce it to a very low simmer after we add the cream. And it's thickened up nicely. Now I'm going to go all the way to the lowest setting of my stove. All the way to the left with mine. Now I'm going to remove this bread, flatbread, place my steak right on top. And I'm going to go get my green beans out of the oven. Now we're back with the final timing. Meanwhile, I put the green beans on the plate as a side dish for our dinner tonight. And the steaks are sitting on the bread. And we'll go ahead and add the horseradish sauce. We'll give it a little stir. It's just got a slight thickness to it. Enough to coat the back of a spoon, but not enough to be really thick at all. It's just a sauce, remember. It's not a gravy. Okay, we'll put that out of the way. And then we're just going to take the pan, tilt it to the side. Just take a little bit of the sauce and run it down the steak. Just one straight line. And that's all you need, unless you like a lot of sauce with your steak. Anyway, that's your peppercorn steak. And that's an homage to Chicago. And that was prepared for Cooking Without Looking. You have a pleasant day, and thank you for visiting Low Vision Chef, and keep cooking. Thank you.